Forgot my password.
All right. Hey, everybody. Rowdy family here on a Wednesday update. Your phone keeps going to fall over.
It's gonna hit me in the face. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
No, this isn't strong enough. Okay.
All right. So, Rowdy mom, how's it going?
It's going. I don't know.
How'd this week go? I mean, what happened this week?
My phone hit me in the face. I mean, everything's been going fine. We haven't had anything going on much, maybe. Yeah, we got some stuff we gotta tell y'all later. But it's been nice. Me personally, since I've been home, it's been, I guess, difficult for me to actually sit still and like sit on my pockets, because this isn't something I've been accustomed to. I'm always like up on my feet because I have to be on top of whatever situations that could be running through my head that could possibly happen. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
you become a premeditated thinker about all of these things. Well, if I allow this to happen, this is going to go down this path. And I mean, you're really thinking about, and you're walking around on eggshells. Please don't let anything set him off today.
Yeah.
So he's doing really good on that. He's been 14, nearly 15 weeks now. So that's really good.
Yeah.
So
Friday will be 15 weeks. So yeah, I mean, it's been nice. It's been nice to be able to have him verbalize what's going on, and for us to see some of these emotions that we haven't seen in forever. So it's really nice to be able to have that. And yeah. I mean, it's pretty much it.
We got somebody being a ham here.
Yeah, because she got to be the center of attention because no one's talking about her. But so when we spoke with you guys last week, we were telling you guys about our concerns with having a new doctor and being fearful that this new doctor wouldn't continue the protocol and would probably start asking us all these questions as to why we want to continue a medication protocol that really doesn't have, what they would say was enough documentation or enough kind of like trial and error to really, I guess what would you say, compare it or improve behavior. So we did have to go in and
it's really a FDA off-label protocol. It's FDA off-label protocol, but it works, and we've seen it here live and in action that it works, but we see other people
and
too.
Also that's what we're gonna talk about Friday. So kind of to jump off subject just a teeny tiny bit, I've been having more and more people reaching out to us and asking about the protocol and asking like, what do we do in order to get the ball rolling with getting on the protocol? That is definitely going to have to be something that we'd have to have a longer session to talk about. But it is different approaches, and it's one of those type of medications or one of those diagnoses that it's still new. So it's just like, this is what we know, and it's only a small like audience of that they can say. It's not a lot going on. So when you get to that point where you're trying to figure out different things that will work and won't work, and some of the doctors are kind of like, no, because we really don't have that much info to back it up, and then other ones are like, hey, if you've tried everything, then why not? So when we started the medications in the protocol, you have to increase the dosages, and again, we'll talk about that on another day because that's a whole nother conversation. But as his dosages increased, and so now he is at therapeutic level or close to therapeutic level. Is he at it or close to
Too
it?
close to.
So we went Tuesday to get blood work done, and the purpose of this blood work is to check his trough levels.
Yeah, so trough levels would be the 12-hour period from his last dosage. So he took his dose at 8:30, and he had his blood drawn at like 8:27, 8:28. So right there at right around the same time, it gives you a 12-hour low period, and we want those to be in the range specified by the protocol, 0.3 to 0.35. So we're looking at that. So, I mean, it was really, to have this nurse practitioner jump on the protocol as well. We've been really lucky with that, because we hear time and time again where people present all of the information to their doctor, and their doctor just won't go with the protocol. It's a sad situation, because the protocol works, and we've seen it, like I said, live and in action here, and we've seen it with other folks.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's going on?
I mean, it's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that just given like the different people that when we first found out about the diagnosis, and then when we got the call about us having to go to juvenile and all of that, I had people reaching out and helping me with different people to contact. So we contacted some different organizations, and we are hoping that it has made everything that's going on with him has made it to the right people's ears or hands or whatever, so we can get some truth shedded on to all of this that was going on with him. Because, like, in my opinion, he was out of school, and probably as far as he's concerned, like, that was it. Like, I'm out of school, haven't been at school, did my distant learning, I get to go back, and then that's it. For us to have to come, almost 5 months later to say, oh, by the way, now you guys have to go through a whole nother process. So it's a mess, and I've been in contact with people, I've been following up, and yeah, I'm just really hoping that we hear something, or they can at least point us like in the right directions, or give us some kind of support, because this is
support and guidance and assistance.
This is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, so those of you that don't know the legal battle that we're up against, it's one felony and 3 misdemeanor charges at the juvenile justice system in Tulsa County, and so we'll see how that goes. It's June 24th is our court date, our first court date appearance. So see what happens there. Hopefully we have some support and assistance before we get to that date. But
yeah, because as far as because I know, like, in most cases and stuff like this, especially, it's almost kind of like you hear from the people like the day of or the day before, and we're like, whoa,
yeah.
Like, how is this all supposed to look?
Pumpkin, be nice. So another thing, if you want to check us out on all of our social media, we are doing TikTok live on Monday evenings. From what time to what time?
I think we went earlier.
Around 5:30.
Yeah, it was like 5:30, but I'd say
probably
like
6 o'clock.
About 6.
Yeah, about 6 o'clock. So we did our first live event on TikTok yesterday.
It was fun, but somebody waited to the last minute to set up the equipment.
Yeah, because I thought I was going to be able to use the software, the same software that we use to stream this, but
Because he's fancy. I told him we could just use my phone,
we couldn't do that, and because we have to have a stream key, and
yeah.
and TikTok hasn't granted us a stream key yet, and we're trying to apply for one. And
So if you are not following us on TikTok, follow us on TikTok. So on our TikTok, which is at RowdyFam19, on our page you get more of, like that what is DMDD and things of that nature. But on the TikTok there'll be like some kind of like interactive or like visual aids to a certain extent about things such as behavior strategies, what is DMDD, comparing it to different things that's going on. And also, like, we're a pretty fun group of people, and we like to just do random stuff.
yeah,
So we like to do the fun TikToks, and during this summer, we're crossing our fingers that this summer we can get out and get the kids out and around some water holes. We didn't get to go do many water things last year. So let's be looking out for our...
And that's one of the things we're known for, is our just random little trips everywhere. That's what we used to be known for on Facebook, and then COVID hit, and then DMDD hit, and then
like 2 back-to-back ear surgeries hit.
Yeah, so so it's been a time.
It's been a time, but also in June of 2021 is when our son was officially diagnosed with DMDD. Today is June 1st, so this is like our first, getting ready to be in a couple of more weeks, it'll be like our first year.
But getting to that diagnosis, it was like 4 or 5 years of getting to that diagnosis.
Because it was a lot of like misdiagnoses, because it was just some things like, I don't know, and then when we would say something, it was almost kind of like we were going like this with the doctors and all the professionals. We're saying, okay, but it looks like this and it doesn't look like that. But it was a struggle. Everything that we had in our parenting toolbox that we knew about approaching certain behaviors and all of that in our home, like all of that just like went out the door fast when we were like approaching, when we started noticing the behaviors to change. And then we would just get from the doctor's like, oh, like, are you sure? Like, we haven't seen it like this. And we're like, we don't know what it is. This is new. Everything that we thought we know, we don't really know. So
yeah, it was a lot of different diagnoses we went through to try to get to this, and finally, and it was, they diagnosed it, but then didn't even talk to us about it. It was at an inpatient facility.
My gosh.
So he was in there 2 times, and they never discussed DMDD with us. They had discussed ODD, which we didn't think he had, and he doesn't have. But DMDD is what he has, and so, but they didn't discuss that with us. And then as soon as we read that on his second discharge papers, we like, what is this?
Right, it was like, we don't even know what this is. And I think it's like very confusing and, I don't know, like hurtful, I guess, to us as the parents, that we get this diagnosis. Like, we've had nurses and doctors and even a therapist that met with us once a week when he was in inpatient, and no one ever mentioned any of this to us as to what it would look like at home, what it would look like, what is it. We got a piece of paper that had these letters on here, and we're like, wait a minute, where did this come from?
And that's when we started researching, and we found a lot of information on different Facebook groups, DMDD Facebook groups, And then once we had a friend tell us about some of the Facebook groups.
And there is a group called Real Moms of DMDD. That's a really good one. A lot of these groups for people that just have kids with stuff that don't understand what's going on, or even some of these parents are the type of parents that they are afraid to ask for help because they are afraid. If you go and type on Facebook and you put in whatever your child's diagnosis is, you can find these groups. You can get on the groups. You don't even have to really interact on there if you choose not to. But so many of these moms and dads post stuff that hits close to heart, and then you start reading the posts, then you start reading the comments.
And then us as well. We have a daily post to encourage people. And DMDD dads, or DMD dads. DMD dads is another group for dads. Yeah, it's really hard to say, but that's a group for just us guys as dads who are going through this. Not very many guys are on there very active, but I will say our friend Kyle Glenn is pretty active there, and he supports us here and has posted some of our posts over there and some of our videos, and really recommended us to the group over there at GMD Dads. And so we give a shout out to him. But some of the things that we've been doing behind the scenes, right? So we bought our domain name, rowdyfamily.net, with the intent of creating Facebook, or creating content on their website outside of Facebook, and having a website where we can share some of the information that we've learned and some of the different things that we've been able to pinpoint and discover, and sharing that information with you. We're going to have just more information in written and in video format there. So we'll have more vlogging and more written format information there. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming in the future. We're also we do have. So it's kind of a thing right now to have these link trees across social media. So we created a subdomain, or I created a subdomain in our website that's called linktree.rowdyfamily.net, and that's its URL, and that will take you to the link to our YouTube, our Facebook, our TikTok, and our Instagram. So, but we had a lot of fun on TikTok last night. I mean, even though we had some difficulties, we had quite a few people shout outs. We got a bunch of likes. We were trying to get a rose for Rosa, but
we got some new followers. So
it's really funny how that rocketed up. Over on TikTok, we ended up with like 1,500 and some likes just in the short time that we've been doing this, and we have more followers there than we have on Facebook. So
I mean, we're still not doing bad. We have about
almost 700.
Almost 700 followers on Facebook, but it's still nice. Like, I had a nice little moment that the post that I posted this morning, it was very near and dear, close to my heart, and just to see it being so encouraging to other mothers, because what we go through, a lot of mothers aren't ready for that conversation. A lot of mothers don't want people to know that sometimes I have bad days, and sometimes I'm sad, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing enough as a mother, or sometimes I don't feel like my kids are appreciating me or listening to me, any of that. Like, it's normal. We all have these days, and it's okay to feel bad. And but that's just something, because like, especially when you put so much into something, and then it does get exhausting. I mean, that's just parenting, period. It doesn't have anything to do if you have. Oh, thank you, Leanne. So yeah, it's just one of those things that, when, especially with having a kid, just a kid, period, being a parent, especially if you want to be a good parent, in your eyes, what you feel a good parent is, you have to do all of these things. And then at the end of the day, it does get tiring. It does get frustrating, because you're like, I want my child to get all A's and make the football team. But then you have to think about it when you have a child with a disability, to just think about those things, like my husband said, those premeditated type thoughts, where it's just like, when it's time to wake up, is it going to be a meltdown about brushing teeth? Is it going to be, I don't want to go here today? Is it going to be, I'm too tired to get up? Or is it going to be, we're going to get halfway to where we're going, and then we have to get off the highway to go to the hospital? So it's just those kind of things that can bring on so many emotions. But during our journey, we've learned that just having like people in our corner, and I heard a lot of people say, well, I don't have the luxury of having, a mother-in-law that'll come and stay up with my kids for a week, or take them out of another state for a month, and things like that. Our family has became people that we work with, or people that we became friends through Facebook or whatever. So even if they can't physically be there for you, just to have somebody to talk to, because in some of these cases, just having somebody to talk to, and that means so much more.
Yeah, that's true. That's so very true. I have cousins and uncles and aunts, but I don't have any immediate family. I do have a half brother somewhere. I have a half sister somewhere, but Jamaica's family has really reached out to me, and tons of people on Facebook that have become family, in that regard, that we can reach out to and talk to about these things. And then I have a whole another network of friends and family that just have supported me over this past year, since I talked about the previous mental health crisis I had. I made some lifelong friends there, and we're going to stay together forever, just like me and this chicky. So, all right. Well, be on the lookout for more on Friday. We're going to talk about.
We're gonna talk more about the protocol, like what were the steps that we went about getting onto the protocol, and what it looks like, and things of that nature. But we're gonna talk about the protocol.
Yeah. So, all right. It's okay to be rowdy.